Put your hands up where I can see them.
They're claiming that their son's death was murder.
Come out with it if you're telling me that the CPD is going to leave me out here to dry.
All you got to do is find his phone. He's the chief lifeguard. This guy hired
Unqualified lifeguards in exchange for sex.
He pinned me down.
People drown because of you.
Jury's never going to convict.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Jim Parsons, NBC Tonight.
I need you so.
On our broadcast tonight, the families of the Waukesha Christmas parade victims are speaking out after the Darrell Brooks conviction. We hear from the families about their thoughts on the verdict. Plus, Wisconsin Republicans are several seats away from a supermajority in the state assembly. We'll have a preview of the 74th assembly race. And a Wisconsin judge has made a ruling in an absentee ballot vote. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Jessica Jukic and Jeff Weller.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 10. I'm Jessica Jukic. After nearly a year, victims and their families of the Waukesha Christmas parade attack have some closure. Today, Darrell Brooks was convicted of killing 6 people and injuring dozens when he hit 68 parade goers last year. Brooks was found guilty of all 76 charges, including the 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. He faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison for the homicide convictions. Nick Borsch spoke to several of the victims' family members who reflected on that verdict.
He put people through so much pain and suffering for what his actions were.
Don Teague's son Eric was critically injured in the parade as he marched with the Waukesha South Band and has faced a long recovery.
I mean, you're hearing the horns honking here. You feel kind of the same way right now?
Yeah, it's been a long day waiting. Something that this community needed is closure. You know, we're just so thankful for the community, the support that we've been getting.
Amber Conkey's daughter, Jesselyn, was critically injured and is still recovering from another recent surgery.
All of this is important to me, for not just my child, but for everybody. It's all very important. It means a ton. I mean, my daughter was ran over that day, so, you know, it just means a bunch to me. It really does.
The family of dancing granny Virginia Sorensen, killed in the parade, placed a small vial of her ashes in the courtroom as the verdicts were read.
We've been praying for this day for a long time, and this morning my 5-year-old daughter came up to me and handed me this necklace with my mom's ashes in it, and she told me to take my mom with us for the sentencing. So she was with us today, and I just want to thank everyone for what they did today.
It's been a difficult day. I know that this will give us healing. This is another step forward in this process. We've been resilient all the way through. One of the things that I've said so much throughout this is that we're stronger than him, and it's been proven today.
It's a cool night throughout the Northwoods. Jeff, what can we expect tomorrow?
Well, a cloudy and cool day today until sunset. Then the clouds broke up. Tomorrow, that means lots of sunshine with temperatures back up near 50, and we're going to still go for 60 this weekend. Let's go outside now, though, and check on high temperatures today. They were not so high, right? Kind of a cool day across much, if not all, north central Wisconsin, with a high of only 41 here in Rhinelander, 45 for Tomahawk. So a cool day. The average high is still 50. We did not do that today, but tomorrow we're going to work on that with high temperatures back in the low 50s. Out there now, though, look what's happening, right? The clear skies, radiational cooling, light winds. We're already at 26 in Rhinelander, 24 Eagle River, 25 for Leona. We'll have lows tonight down 20 to 22 degrees tonight. That's going to be a cool night ahead. All right, all because of lots of clear skies out there now. There's a couple of clouds to the west of us. That's not going to bug us at all. There's a system over here that will dive to our south tomorrow. Other than that, though, we're dry into the weekend and beyond. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, partly cloudy skies in there as well, with low temperatures down near 24. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. A Catholic priest in Wausau has resigned over alleged misconduct with a minor that happened several decades ago. Monsignor Mark Pierce has been a priest for 26 years. He led St. Michael Parish and the Church of the Resurrection in Wausau. The La Crosse Tribune said he resigned Sunday after sexual misconduct with the minor allegations surfaced last week. But there are no details about the allegations, including when and where it happened. Pierce released a statement saying, quote, "After many years of neglect, I'm being called to face the wrong that I have caused someone by behavior inappropriate for a priest." Wisconsin Republicans are 5 seats away from a supermajority in the state assembly. One district that could flip from blue to red is the 74th district based in northern Wisconsin. The 74th is made up of Bayfield, Ashland, Iron, and Price counties, plus a few other towns in Douglas and Sawyer County. Democrat Beth Myers won by just 3 points in 2020, and she isn't running this year. This November, the choice for voters will be between Democrat John Adams and Republican Chance Green. Green owns 2 businesses in northern Wisconsin, including a tavern and cable. He says his top priority is fighting inflation by returning the state's nearly $5 billion surplus back to taxpayers.
I don't think we need to take any more tax money from people. Return the money back to the people, allow them to fight the rising costs of gas and food and everything else, and let them keep their money.
Democrat John Adams also wants to return some of the surplus to taxpayers, but he also wants to give money back to local governments. Adams says a big issue across the state is declining shared revenue with counties and municipalities. He supports the governor's plan to increase returning tax revenue to local governments by 4%.
And that is something that directly impacts our lives, actually more than state government, as our local towns and county governments. So I think that state aid is a really important thing.
Adams, by the way, is a farmer in Bayfield County. Something that also impacts this race is redistricting. The 74th lost the Lac du Flambeau Reservation and gained non-tribal rural areas, which means the district leans more Republican than the last election. A Wisconsin judge rejected allowing partial witness addresses on absentee ballots. The ruling was a win for the Republican-controlled Wisconsin legislature. The judge said changing the absentee ballot rules would disrupt the status quo and cause confusion with early voting already underway. So far, more than 305,000 absentee ballots have been returned. The Wisconsin Elections Commission says the witness addresses must include 3 elements: a street number, street name, and municipality. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services has announced $8.3 million in funding to support school health staff throughout the state. This new funding will support hiring and retaining school nurses and health staff in K-12 schools. It'll also provide funding for school nurses to pursue wellness activities and professional development. In partnership with the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, 12 regional Wisconsin cooperative educational service agencies will distribute funds to the schools. This funding will improve children's health by supporting the school health workforce. Funds can be used to hire new nurses and health coordinators, retain those staff through retention bonuses, and extend the hours of existing health staff. November's just around the corner, and that means budget time for counties across the area. Lincoln County is deciding on a budget which could determine the future for a program in Tomahawk and Merrill. The Lincoln County Board's recent budget includes partial funding for the UW Extension, which runs the Strong Bodies program. That program helps senior citizens keep a regimented exercise routine, but the board has reached its limit on what it can offer the extension.
The partial funding that we're able to provide, I hope that's enough for them to keep the door open, to keep some sort of relationship between those programs and the people in Lincoln County.
Bonnie Rudy has run the program since its inception 15 years ago. Her leadership team has brought many elderly out of diminishing health, including one woman who has attended faithfully since a stroke 12 years ago.
I was here when she started, and there was a lot of things she couldn't do, and she slowly started adding more weight to her dumbbells and her ankle weights.
The program says that they need the support for a person to fill an administrative role. Forest County is making it easier for families to eat healthy. We'll explain how the Potawatomi tribe is making fresh food more accessible. That's after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
As an Army commander, I serve God, family, and country. But the media, they say none of that matters anymore. When I was 9 years old, my dad handed me a shovel and put me to work. Nowadays, people get paid to sit on the couch. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not some career politician. I'm a self-made businessman who doesn't give a rip about the special interests or their money. I'm running for governor to turn Madison upside down and take back the freedoms that make Wisconsin great.
Tim Michaels for governor. We didn't forget about the crumbs at the bottom of the bag. We're just prolonging our time with every last bit of crispy, juicy tender.
Enjoy the crispy chicken sandwich and pair it with medium fries and a $1 any size Diet Dr. Pepper.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Change it up and choose Dutch Boy from Menards. Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints at the best prices. Pick out the perfect color. We offer free custom color matching and tinting to create thousands of color options. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, and no prep, no prime formula, transforming your home has never been easier. Save 11% on all Dutch Boy paints now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
ELM Repair in Edgar is a family-owned and operated full-service diesel repair shop. From pickups to semi-trucks to heavy equipment and RV service. If it runs on diesel, we can repair it. Want more power and better mileage? Our experienced professionals will get your truck running and at peak performance. With a state-of-the-art dyno and fully stocked parts department, we can even come out to you with our 24-hour mobile repair service. ELM is always looking for passionate and talented people to join our team. The Diesel Doctor. Have it done right the first time at ELM Repair.
Hi, I'm Judy from Tomahawk Monument Company. When Tim and I want the forecast for Tomahawk, we go to WJFW.com and check my hometown weather.
Your hometown weather, available 24/7 at WJFW.com.
All right, pull up a chair. You and I get to chat weather for a few minutes. All right, so tonight we're the cool kids with low temperatures down near 20. Tomorrow, though, a nice recovery up near 50, and we're still going to go for 60, most likely on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Today, though, 41 is all we did in Rhinelander, 45 for Tomahawk, 44 for Phillips. You get the idea. Nowhere near the average high temperatures today, but tomorrow, likely hitting the averages tomorrow, and then some getting in here over the weekend. But right now, it's even much colder, right? 26 in Rhinelander, 24 in Eagle River. It's cold out there. We're not going to freeze any lakes tonight, but still, we'll have low temperatures down in the 20s. That's going to be very chilly tomorrow morning, heading off to work or school. In fact, here's the jet stream, that river of air about 30,000 feet up. It kind of dictates where things go in the atmosphere. To the north of the jet stream this time of year, it's typically very cold, and it is very cold there right now. To the south, it's much warmer, and look where we are. We're pretty much on the south side of that currently. That's going to keep us above average in temperatures into the weekend and really through much, if not all, of next week. Several more 60-degree days are on the maps. All right, so for tomorrow, though, not so much. 53 tomorrow, 56-ish for Friday. A beautiful day on Friday. And then here's the weekend. Saturday, Sunday looking great, temperature 60, and we hang out there through much, if not all, of next week. That's not normal. We'll probably pay for that at some point, right? Out there today, though, lots of clouds pretty much all day long until right near sunset. A gorgeous sunset. Now the skies are clear, getting a radiational cooling out there, a cool night ahead. That means lots of sunshine for us for tomorrow. There are a couple of clouds trying to sneak in here. It's not going to be a big deal at all. These are high cirrus clouds. They're not going to mess with us at all. It's off a system across the west. That, though, is going to miss us. It'll increase our cloud cover tomorrow night, but miss us with precipitation. And then our next chance for rain is not in the 7-day forecast anytime soon. And we could use some rain. Here's a drought monitor where it's been dry across the west for decades. That's inching into Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, which is rare for October. We have level 1 and 2 drought conditions across north central Wisconsin right now. Our forecast then tonight, though, is decreasing clouds, low temperatures down near 24. A couple of you could dip your toes into the upper teens for low temperatures tonight with a calm wind already out there now. For tomorrow, it's Thursday already. Lots of sunshine tomorrow. High temperatures up near 53 with a south breeze around 5. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwest Furniture and Mattress shows a dry stretch of weather ahead, above average temperatures as well. A gorgeous weekend, no 70s, but 60s in the forecast this weekend. There's Halloween this year, temperatures near 60 under partly cloudy skies. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. The Justice Department has codified new regulations to protect a free and independent press. The new rules ban secret subpoenas for journalist records. There are some exceptions in certain circumstances, like if the information could prevent a serious crime, if the journalist is the target of an investigation, if the records involve already public information, or if the journalist agrees to disclose those records. Under the old regulations, investigators could secretly obtain journalist records through a court order without journalist knowledge. Forest County is considered by many to be a bit of a food desert, with big box grocers like Walmart, Aldi's, and Target being in some cases more than an hour away from where people live. While some enjoy the remoteness of the Northwoods, there is still a need for fresh produce. Newswatch 12's Kyle Pozorski explains how the Potawatomi tribe has been working to provide vegetables and protein to area residents.
We basically grow food and provide food for the tribe as well as the community.
The Forest County Potawatomi Farm has been providing food to communities in Forest County since 2017.
When the farm started, we did a feasibility study prior to starting it to see if it was a feasible project. And at that time, we had nothing here.
But now the Potawatomi Farm has a herd of bison, a flock of chickens, aquaponic lettuce, and other fresh farm-to-table produce being sold through their store.
A lot of tribal members that come and they buy most of their meat here. We have our regulars, and then we do have community members that come every week to buy their products that they need for the week.
The farm is owned by the tribe with the mission to provide a natural and sustainable source of farm fresh products to the tribal community. And with the realization of how Forest County is a bit of a food desert during the coronavirus pandemic, the popularity of the farm has only risen.
Every day we get more people through the store. They want to know the story. They want to be here. They want to come see what we're doing.
Cronauer says even though there have been ups and downs, seeing the smiles on people's faces when they come to the farm is well worth it.
I love my job. I mean, it's my dream job. I feel like I was put here to provide good food to people.
Reporting in Forest County, Kyle Pozorski, Newswatch 12.
A Wausau native is preparing for a national competition. Grace Stanky was crowned Miss Wisconsin in June. She made history by being the first woman from Wausau to earn the title. Stanky is also the first nuclear engineering student to ever compete for the Miss America title. A send-off celebration is being held at Jefferson Street Inn in Wausau on Sunday, November 13th from noon to 4 p.m. The Miss America 2023 competition is being held in December in Connecticut. High school football end-of-year award finalists are being released. Coming up, Saul Meyer will join us to tell us who made the list.
They found my sister's head in a wood-burning stove, her body in a cornfield, murdered by her own husband. The judge called it the most heinous crime he'd ever seen, and the killer was sent to jail for life. But Tony Evers' parole commission set him free, and they didn't even tell us. Under Evers, hundreds of other violent criminals have been released early. It makes no sense. Governor Evers, everyone in Wisconsin is less safe because of you.
Saturday, October 29th, the Wisconsin Department of Justice will be holding a free prescription drug take-back event. If you have unused or unwanted medications, ointments, patches, non-aerosol sprays, inhalers, vials, or pet medication, clean out your medicine cabinets. Don't let your old medication fall into the wrong hands by disposing of unused or unwanted medications properly. For more information on locations and accepted items, go to doseofrealitywi.gov. This information is brought to you by the Human Service Center of Vilas, Forest, and Oneida County.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Tim Michaels wants to scare you with lies. Here's the truth. Independent fact checkers gave Michaels' parole attacks a pants-on-fire rating, saying they were false and that the governor does not allow any release of criminals. That's a fact. And here's another fact. Tony Evers actually increased police funding, and he's working to invest in high-crime areas, in job training, after-school programs, and mental health. So when you see all these, do this.
Coming up on your Thursday, we'll have the Hodag in studio.
And a bundle up, put on layers as cold air has arrived. How long will that stick around? I'll have the answers coming up.
2 years ago, Rhinelander's soccer season ended when they lost to Medford in sectionals. Last year, Rhinelander's season ended when they lost to Medford in sectionals. Guess who the Hodags are taking on tomorrow in sectionals? It's a battle of the best in the GNC tomorrow. Rhinelander traveling to Medford to take on the Raiders. Here's footage of the Hodags' last win over Lakeland Union in PKs from Saturday. Captain Charlie Heck said that that win means his team is more confident than ever.
I think these boys coming off a fresh victory are hungrier than ever. We've had recent losses to Medford in playoffs, and I think that those sit close with the boys, and they're ready for some revenge games.
Now let's take a look at Medford. Here's a goal from the Raiders' top striker, Zach Rudolph. His hat trick led to Medford's second win of the season over Rhinelander, and Captain Loesch said that the key to winning tomorrow is shutting down Rudolph and forcing the rest of the team to make plays.
And then the rest of the defense will do their jobs, and the rest of the offense and mids will do their jobs, and hopefully it all comes together. I think we're all warmed up and ready to go.
Rhinelander takes on Medford tomorrow at 7 p.m. and maybe this time the Hodags will end the Medford season. We will have the highlights tomorrow on Newswatch 12 at 10. Let's stay with high school, but move on to football. WSN released their end of the season awards finalists. First off, the Joe Thomas Award, given to the state's top senior offensive lineman, has Brant Rice from Wausau West listed as a finalist. Rice has led West to an impressive 10-1 record while securing a share of the Valley Football Association championship, and he was also a unanimous first-team all-conference lineman and is listed as a monstrous 6'5", 290 pounds. Next, the Al Toon Award, given to the state's top senior tight end or wide receiver. Now, if anyone from our area would to be on this list, it's Davin Stoffel from Mosinee. Stoffel finished as a unanimous first-team all-conference receiver and linebacker while bringing home both offensive and defensive player of the year for the Great Northern Conference. He was also a key factor in Mosinee winning the GNC outright and ranked second in the state in receiving touchdowns and top 10 in receiving yards for this season.
There is a rich tradition of cross country here in Phillips. This is actually with the boys and girls both qualifying here this year. It's the 34th and 35th time that one of the squads has qualified for the state meet. So yeah, it means a lot to us. We take a lot of pride in that.
34 and 35 times making it to state is a huge accomplishment. Coach Olsen was asked if he feels the pressure to uphold the tradition.
A little bit once in a while. You know, I love the guy. He was my coach when I was in high school here. And, but, you know, it's part of it is just, I wouldn't say pressure as much as it is just taking pride in what you do and trying to do your best every year.
The boys and girls state championship is this Saturday at Wisconsin Rapids. The girls run at noon and the boys at 2 o'clock. There is no doubt about it, the Packers have been struggling this year. A rough opening week loss followed by a promising 3-game winning streak has now turned to a 3-game losing streak for the green and gold. When people start to struggle, everyone starts to point fingers at who's to blame. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers said that fixing this problem is simple. The players that make more mistakes should get less playing time. Well, when the whole team is struggling, you can't bench everyone. So here's what Coach LaFleur has to say about who's to blame.
Collectively, everybody has to be better. And again, it always starts with myself in terms of making sure that we put our guys in the best position possible. And if we don't, then I feel like I failed those guys.
Coach LaFleur will look to end the longest losing streak of his coaching career when his team heads to Buffalo Sunday night for a primetime contest with the Bills. All right, now on to the NBA, where the undefeated Bucks host a struggling Brooklyn Nets. Here in the first quarter, Giannis doing what Giannis does best, taking the ball coast to coast, hitting the European hit in the Euro, and finishing for the bucket. Later on in that game, Giannis makes a lot of contact on the drive here, and no foul is called. That sent Nets head coach Steve Nash on a rampage. He gets a tech and his first ejection as a head coach, and that set up a huge Bucks run. And big plays like this one from Giannis helped get the job done. Bucks win this one 110-99 and are undefeated. We'll be right back after the break.
More than 300 murders just last year. Terror at the Waukesha Christmas Parade. But defund the police radical Mandela Barnes still supports eliminating cash bail, releasing dangerous criminals back into our communities. Barnes says,
reducing prison population is now sexy.
Actually, releasing criminals isn't sexy. It's dangerous. Radical Mandela Barnes won't keep your family safe. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You heard the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission products. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we do better when our clients do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
Tim Michaels wants to scare you with lies. Here's the truth. Independent fact checkers gave Michaels' parole attacks a pants-on-fire rating, saying they were false and that the governor does not allow any release of criminals. That's a fact. And here's another fact. Tony Evers actually increased police funding, and he's working to invest in high-crime areas, in job training, after-school programs, and mental health. So when you see all these, do this.
This weekend, the Potawatomi Farm will be hosting their last fall fun on the farm event of the month. It will conclude with some scary activities for Halloween lovers. The farm will have hay rides, zombie Zumba, and a zombie 5K, getting families active on the last week of October.
With everything we do here through the community center, we want to get people active, get people engaged in healthy lifestyles. But at the end of the day, it's just we want to have something fun for the community and for people to enjoy.
The Zombie 5K run will start at 6 p.m. on Saturday, where several members of the community center will be scaring those who run the course. There will also be a non-scary run. There was an awesome event up in Minocqua over the weekend. More than 500 volunteers packed meals for Food for Kids in Lakeland Union High School. 680 cases of food were packed. 220 will head to local food pantries, while 460 cases will head to places around the world in need like Haiti. Organizers Megan McFarland and Laura Birch wanted to thank everyone who came out. We'll be right back with one final check of the forecast.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Scher, DC with the Spinal Aid Center of Wausau. Are you one of the millions of people suffering with the symptoms of peripheral neuropathy? Your symptoms may include numbness and tingling in your feet or hands, difficulty sleeping from leg or foot discomfort, and debilitating balance problems. I have good news for you. You can now get relief with our breakthrough treatment method without the use of drugs or surgery. Our treatments help to heal damaged nerves that cause peripheral neuropathy. If left untreated, you may eventually end up with a walker or wheelchair, so don't delay. Call our office now to schedule an appointment to see if our treatment methods are right for you. We will do a painless neuropathy severity exam to determine the amount of nerve loss. If you qualify for our treatment, it can truly change your life. Start living your life pain-free. Call today.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Coming from the Midwest, we know that winter can chill to the bones. Menards has all the heating options to combat those cold months. Need heat wherever you are? Check out our endless options of space heaters. Want something for a cozy living space? Pick up one of our many fireplaces. Job sites? Home? We have your back. Menards has heating options for whatever situation you need it for, and get 11% off it all.